All right, today it's a Rista. It's a Picadura, I believe is what they call it. This is going to be a mix of short filler and long filler. These are cheapies. These are somewhere between $5 and $7, depending on where you buy them. So, yeah. Just a budget-friendly cigar here on a long weekend. Driving out to do some family stuff. The thing with these budget cigars is they all kind of have the same flavor profiles, right? It's like sort of younger tobacco, and like a characteristic of younger tobacco is it's kind of like sort of sweet up front, like my cereal notes, like Shreddies or Corn Flakes, like that kind of sweet. Sort of sweet up front, but then like usually a fair bit of bitter notes. Now, my understanding is the flavor of a cigar comes mostly from the wrapper and the binder, and not necessarily the tobacco inside of it. But, you know, I don't roll them for a living, so I don't know. So another one of those, rustic-looking smokes. You can see it's kind of toothy and veiny. The wrapper leaf has some discoloration in different places. It doesn't really affect the flavor profile. It just makes it look a little, less appealing. And I think that's how a lot of higher quality budget blends get out there, is the tobacco's good, it's just not aesthetically pleasing. That's me just taking a guess, though. Anyways, I should try to move and see what happens. Probably camera's gonna fall. And if you notice in these videos how I do a lot of jump cuts and a lot of edits, that's because sometimes I tend to go on a tangent or off point. But in other cases, quite literally, the camera fell. So I just have to cut it as best I can to make it look okay. I don't want to permanently affix a camera to my dashboard because, maybe one day I sell the car and nobody wants camera glue on their car when they go to buy a used car or whatever it would be. So back to this bad boy, Arista. This is going to be a long smoke, even though it's a mixed filler, so that means it's part cut and it's part like a full leaf. It's going to be a long smoke. This is going to take me all the way through my drive, and it's going to take me through the detour, because I have a detour on my drive now. And for depending on where you buy it, $4 to $7 is not really bad. It's a flavor profile is quality tobacco when you're smoking it, even if it's cheap, right? Because again, I think some of the price is in the availability, some of it is in the branding, a lot of it I think is in the aesthetics of a cigar. So often you get a rougher rolled cigar, it's the same stuff, it just doesn't look as nice, so it gets sold as a second. It's like Don Thomas, I believe W&D is a Don Thomas second. And the thing with the W&Ds is a Don Thomas around here is about $12, a W&D around here is about $6. It's half the price. It doesn't have the brand name, but it's most of the way there in terms of the flavor profile. I'd say 80-90% of the way there. Arista, it's its own thing. I don't really know what flavor profile they're going for over at Arista, but I like it. I've had their shade-grown wrappers, I've had their Maduros, I believe this is a Habano wrapper. I've had the small cigars and the big cigars. Arista might be my most smoked brand just because of its budget price. The camera's probably shaking a bit now because I'm driving a little quick. And, that's kind of how it is. Oh! We're playing a game here today, that's for sure. Trying to do a video and drive. But so far it's working out, and so far I haven't come too close to causing any problems. Yeah, so again, when you're buying those cheap cigars, like as long as you stay away from things like Captain Black or White Owl, Bandy, like that's all like more or less cigarette tobacco done in a crappy paper wrapper. You stay with like real natural grown tobacco from like one of the main regions. It's, you know, fairly well wrapped and rolled. You're gonna have a pretty good smoking experience. So, you know, it's kind of my 2 cents on that one. Another thing that I wanted to bring up today is I noticed on my other YouTube channel there's ads rolling before my videos, but like the way YouTube sort of works is you get monetized, right? They usually pay you for ad revenue, but they changed their policies a few years ago, and maybe not even a few years ago, maybe only a few months ago. And basically, they can run ads on your channel without paying you if you have less than like 1,000 subscribers. So I noticed that over on my other channel. It might start happening here. So it's just like a heads up, unless I otherwise indicate. Chances are I'm not monetized and I'm not being paid for the ads that roll, and I have no control over them. And I've noticed some of the ads rolling before my videos are for companies I would never support in real life, and that's sort of one of the unfortunate downsides of the way YouTube is now. That being said, YouTube has provided me like hours and hours and hours of entertainment and education, and like it's a very constructive thing for me to shoot a video and edit it and upload it rather than, you know, playing video games, right? So as much as I get frustrated that I'm not monetized and they're running ads and making money off those ads, there's still certain aspects of it that I have like a fair bit of respect for. But I only wanted to bring that up just in case you see ads. However, this is a tobacco channel for the most part, and alcohol, which are controlled substances, and typically with YouTube, your controlled substances don't qualify for proper monetization anyways, so maybe you won't see ads run before these videos, but maybe you will. Just know I have no control over it and I get no income from it. Just the way things are. And I don't think there's enough content creators talking about it right now. People don't want to rock the boat because they're on it, but that being said, it's not necessarily rocking the boat. It's just kind of being transparent with your audience. So, yeah, not too much else to say aside from, you know, budget cigars are pretty nice if you find the right ones. A lot of times a budget cigar can be garbage, but if you find the right brand that suits you, you can have just as a satisfactory experience with a $7 cigar as you can a $70 cigar. Because more importantly, I think it's environment and people and the time you choose to smoke rather than what the product you're smoking is, right? Yeah, until next time, cheers.